Alrighty, welcome back to Wednesday Night Throwdown. This is the first video we've done with Spirit of Rebellion Legal. I'm here in the booth with Marcus.
How you doing?
And I'm Scott. Welcome all.
So, we have all the new cards. Some decks that didn't exist in the previous set.
They did not, since we've got two new characters never seen before. Well, I imagine they were seen before.
Yeah,
but
of course.
They're never seen before on this channel. We have Maz.
Yes.
Kanata, Pirate Queen. I love that. It's one of my favorite things. And we have Aura Sig, the bounty hunter.
Yes. So some interesting things going on in these decks here. So we got obviously Django still doing the Django thing, but Aura Singh with some incredible damage on the die. So she's got one damage, 2 damage, and 2 damage, and is able to actually discard a card for each die to increase its value by 1. For not just the damage, actually, it can increase the shield. It can increase.
Yeah, she's got a disrupt. It's pretty absurd. I played against it just before we jumped on the camera.
Yep.
And it's crazy.
It's a lot of damage. It's a lot of damage. But on the other side of the table, Poe Maz. Now, deceptive deck. Maz's ability can essentially, she rolls in, and you're immediately able to resolve 2 dice on the table. Not just hers, it can be someone else's. Now,
well, it has to be your characters. It can't be your opponent.
Of course. No, I'll just resolve your focus there. No, you can resolve 2 dice of your own that are in play, obviously. Now, this combos incredibly well with Poe, given that she has a focus ability.
That's it. And
Poe's special can do some pretty nasty things, particularly when you're doing it action 2 of turn 1, say. So
that is true, but Chris has rolled in a fairly strong roll here. He's got a 3-gun and a 2-gun, and maybe he doesn't want to focus as a special, because the special resolves maybe a 4 off a card in hand. Maybe he hasn't got anything, but...
Yeah, so, look, I think the Maz Poe deck can do 2 things. I mean, you can go...
All right, no focus here.
No focus. So it can do 2 things. I mean, you can just try and get the damage out really fast. Roll in Maz with a focus, flip a special on Poe, and
just got a U-wing or a rocket launcher or a bowcaster.
Throw a rocket launcher. Not even fire it, just throw it at him. But you can also go the other route and try and build up your supports, build up your money. Maybe get using Poe's ability, get a Falcon into play.
Oh, it's a very diverse deck. You can definitely play the short game or the long game.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel it struggles the most in the medium.
I agree. You're either one or the other. So, I mean, in this situation against this deck, I feel you want to be fast. You just want to kill Singh as fast as possible.
Yeah, I think Django historically scary character, but his spike damage ability is actually neutered by the fact that his dice are only 1s and 2s, whereas Aura's are 2s and 3s.
Yeah, of course.
Assuming they have cards in hand. Like Chris's deck doesn't really have the ability to make his opponent discard much, so Aura's going to have the full range of her hand to throw at your opponent. Now, so it's early start here from Chris, dealing 5 damage to Aura of her. I believe it's 8. Or is it?
Yeah, she has 8 health.
10.
Sorry, 10
health.
Sorry, 10,
yes.
not 8.
So they're both 10 health characters.
Yeah, so look, these are going to be some fast matches. I mean, look, the Django Singh deck is not designed to go long. It's going to kill you fast. That's what it's going for. It's a lot of damage.
Well, strong opener from Trent with the turn 1 jetpack here. Yep. It means that when Django rolls in, he can potentially spike, 2, 4, 5, 2, it's Elite Django? No, it's not Elite Django.
No, single die Django.
So that's a little bit of a disadvantage. It can spike 5 damage on the first activation.
Yeah. So we're seeing some, we're still seeing some of the original cards. We've still got the Electroshocks. Cards are still good. Jetpack, obviously,
Awakening cards are obviously still core of a lot of decks, but it's great to see the new stuff.
Yeah, so look, a fair bit of damage came out there on Aura Singh, but that was all just traditional, I'm going to shoot you in the face damage from Poe.
Yeah, no tricks needed.
Yeah, nothing special there.
Chris draws what you were talking about earlier with the late game. He's got his Falcon and he's got his Quad Jumper. The Quad Jumper is interesting because it's the only support that can upgrade the way an upgrade would.
Yes, of course.
It can discard itself to reduce the cost of another support by 2 by 2, yes.
Yes, 2. So, I mean, and it also, there's some interesting combos there. I mean, it has a resource side.
It has 2 resource sides.
Yeah, so using Poe's ability, you're able to, gain the resource, put it to your graveyard, and then play it, which then allows you to, later in the game, play an even bigger support.
Well, Poe's got a second line of text. It says, once you've used the ability, if it's a vehicle, you can play it from your discard pile. So you can use the two resource side to play it for only 1.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, which is huge.
Cheat some early Falcons, early quad jumpers, early U-Wings.
That said, having a few resources in front of you allows you to even get a Falcon in play doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Use the resource side of the Falcon, and suddenly there's a Falcon in play.
Yeah, all you need to do is roll one resource on Maz, and you can get a turn one Falcon.
So Chris has a choice here. There's the focus. He can immediately resolve that to pose, and then for the second die that he resolves...
He's just doing 4. He
just wants to He wants to kill her as fast as possible.
No nonsense here. He just wants to get her off the board as fast as possible.
Leaving her on 1. Now, obviously, Django was still triggered, as Maz did roll in. So Django, jetpack hits some shields.
He actually should have rolled in before Chris resolved the dice, but...
True, but that is a choice of Chris.
Well, no, because Django doesn't use the Q. His is... he wrote... Oh, no, you're right. No, you're dead right, yeah. Chris chose to do his first.
Simultaneous triggers... it is Chris's decision. He would be able to decide what order those are.
Yes, actions don't use the Q. That's where I was getting confused.
Yes. But it is a triggered ability.
So maybe Chris should have waited till Django rolled
look, minor thing. It's very minor. I think a lot of people tend to miss the rules, like the finer workings of how those rules work. But there is minor advantages to be taken if you are to, order triggers in a certain way that you get a little bit more information.
The extra 1%, 2% every single game adds up over different games and different leagues and tournaments. And
definitely, yeah, of course.
And just over your career as a Destiny player, you'll just get that little bit of advantage and win more games in the long run. What we got a Django activation, or is it a reroll?
Yeah, just a reroll.
We've got 2 shields, a +1 resource, a 1 gun and a 1 gun. So Chris isn't really fearing anything here.
No, Chris not too worried about too much. Definitely not in a terrible position here. The deck definitely not being as fast as it potentially can be.
Well, these are both very aggressive decks. I've seen the Pro Maz do some tremendous amount of damages in the early turns, destroying things like Dooku's. It really shouldn't go down quickly.
Oh, definitely, explosively fast. But that said, I mean the Django Sing deck is equally as fast. It can kill a character turn 1.
Oh, it's crazy,
without doubt.
So what's the spike damage here? So Aura's max is 6. Django can do 5.
Yep.
That's straight up 11 on turn 1.
Yeah, 11 on turn 1.
5 with the jetpack. So
of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, that said, Aura Sing, that's why you play her. I mean, she's got 3 damage sides, 2 damage sides.
Or 3s if most of the time.
Yeah, exactly, which can become 3s. I mean, she's an incredibly powerful character. Now, we're seeing some new cards on both sides of the table. There's
a fast hands from Trent.
Fast hands.
Very strong on Aura.
Incredibly strong. Fast personal shield there. That is a bait and switch, which is an incredibly powerful card, but in this deck and in many others.
And he's also got to fight dirty, and he doesn't like you.
Yep. Yeah. So for those who might not be completely up to date with the new cards, the bait and switch gives you the ability to turn a die showing a resource.
Oh, like this one from Django.
Perhaps this one here does not matter if it's a modifier or not.
Here it is.
To any side.
Yeah, it focuses a resource.
And it has ambush.
Yeah. So now he's just gonna smack.
So that is 5 damage.
Is he going to smack Maz here?
Yeah, I think so.
That is enough to kill her.
That is 5 damage, and that is a dead Maz. That is demonstrating the power of the bait and switch card. Incredibly strong. Deceptive in a lot of decks. You look at the card and think, you have to hit a resource. But then you realize how many dice in so many decks just happen to have a 1 resource side, or potentially sometimes 2.
Oh, it just shores up the chance. Like if you're playing as a Vader or a Django.
Oh, definitely.
You don't mind the resource, but really you want the damage. That's why you put them in your decks, why you're playing them. And that just adds more damage sides.
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, I was skeptical at first when I first saw the card, and then I added it to my deck, and I'm now playing 2. It is that good.
So another card I want to talk about here is C-3PO. We see that in Chris's hand. That thing is deceptively powerful.
Again, it's very deceptive. The die itself, useless, terrible.
You don't want it's got a couple of resources. It's got a focus. It doesn't mean anything.
No, it's meaningless. You roll it in.
It's 6 focuses.
You roll it in, and essentially, so I'm not sure the exact wording, but essentially the action is to remove the die, and then change the symbol on another die to one of your choice.
I've got the text here. It says, action, remove this die to resolve one of your dice as if it was showing a different symbol. It keeps the original value.
So it keeps the original value.
So if you have like a 3 discard from a Falcon, suddenly you can shoot them for 3 or get 3 shields or get 3 resources or all sorts of nonsense.
Yeah, of course. And look, the amazing thing about that is it can be any symbol, even one that's not necessarily represented in your deck. You might just need something very particular at a particular time, and suddenly your 2 shield becomes 2 resources because it's what you needed at that time.
Well, that's it. The reason Chris is actually playing it in this deck is because anything can become a special.
Anything.
So he just resolves it. Remove the die, turn it to a special.
So and
then resolve it.
The other interesting point of discussion is in some decks it's not as good as it seems, because if your deck is playing a lot of modified damage, because it changes the symbol but not the value. So
it doesn't change the traits. If it's got a cost, it's still got a cost. If it's a modifier, it's still a modifier.
Yeah, exactly. But in this case, in this deck, there's almost no modifiers. There's very few in the deck, which means C-3PO hits most of the deck, and it hits the cards that the dice that are most important, which are pose.
Just interrupt you here to bring 6 damage from Trent.
Oh, good. So what? Yep, of course. There's just a casual.
Here we go. We're using C-3PO to turn pose die to resolve pose die as if it was a special. The number is irrelevant, and he's using it to discard a thermal detonator and deal 3 damage to both of Trent's characters.
Oh, there's a swing.
That ends Aura Sing. It deals 3 damage to Jango. That's 30% of his health there.
That's the massive point swing.
So now we got Poe, who's a little bit damaged, versus Jango, who's also damaged. It's a pretty close game here.
Now another amazing card from the new set, Fast Hands.
Oh yeah, you thought Jango was obnoxious before.
Oh, so looks like we're going to see at some point this Fast Hands is going to come down on Jango. Now Fast Hands allows you to, after rolling in, immediately resolve one of your dice. The timing as to when you roll in is irrelevant. You just get that ability.
That's it, isn't it?
So if Jango is to roll in response to something else, with Fast Hands, he can immediately resolve a die, and then he gets his turn as well.
Because it says, after you activate attached character.
Yep. Allowing for some very powerful sequences.
Well, it's a lot of fast damage. Like, if you roll the damage, your opponent can't do anything about it, it just happens.
Yep. So either way, Fast Hands came down. I think the battlefield was claimed by Chris.
That's a very interesting battlefield. It's resolve up to 3 of your damage sides all at once.
Yeah, so this is one of the new battlefields we're seeing here.
There's a Fast Hands from Poe.
Yep.
Making those specials untouchable.
Yep. So
this battlefield lets you claim really early. It's terrifying to play against, terrifying to play with. Like,
it's a very strong battlefield. You've got some dice showing. You get to claim, and
it mixes the damage too.
So it looks like Chris has forgotten to untap his Poe there.
There we go. Readying the character.
Now, he's got some interesting choices here. He has a hit and run in hand, which... Does he have something to hit off of Poe, however? Is it worth him hit and running?
Well, he's got the rocket launcher and the bowcaster, both showing 4 damage sides.
Yeah. So
theoretically, he could hit and run, roll in the special, and maybe some damage, deal 4, and then kill Jango.
Yeah. So here's the hit and run.
So Jango could be dead here.
He could very easily just kill Jango on the spot.
Right, there's the 3 and there's the 0. So if he rolled the blank. If he rolled a special there, Jango was dead.
Ambush,
think about that.
Yes. Ambush immediately resolves the 3.
Well, Fast Hands is doing the 3.
Well,
and now he has an ambush.
Jango's still dead in 2 actions if he doesn't deal with that blank. Because
is Trent neglecting to reactivate Jango? What's he got in his hand that he wants to?
He might be. He's either waiting until the.
You might want to play that Ascension gun.
Yeah, he possibly wants to play something here, which might get him unstuck, because now I imagine Chris's next action is to roll in C-3PO, with the intention of specialing.
Well, if he specials the rocket launcher or the bowcaster, Jango dies.
Yes, so two actions? Was it 2 actions?
2 actions. So C-3PO in, C-3PO out. He resolves the die.
He doesn't. He resolves the die as well.
It resolves the die as if it's showing any symbol.
Yep, so I was correct the first time. It is 2 actions, and Jango will be dead.
And Trent doesn't. So he's played the Ascension gun. Chris rolls in C-3PO. If Trent doesn't remove that die, that's it.
Game over.
That's it.
Oh,
we're not going to find out what it is?
It doesn't matter. It's a focus.
It just doesn't matter.
It's a focus. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
It's more than a focus, mate.
You might not recognize him because he has a red arm.
All right, so
Jango rolls in.
A little late to the party on the roll in. Now let's see if Chris sees it.
I think he does. He's looking at the bowcaster in hand.
Turn that. You don't actually turn the die. You just treat it as a different symbol.
It changes.
Boom.
And dead. That's a dead Jango.
Good game.
Well done.
Fast game's a good game.
Showcasing some of the new cards, the power level of the decks.
This game has changed a lot. I think it's changed for the better.
I agree. Lots of stuff to play around, lots of stuff to consider, and lots of new cards to put into sweet new decks.
Definitely. All right, we'll bring you another match straight after this one with 2 new decks.
No worries. Thanks, guys.